Eric, great to have the chance to talk to you.
It's been way too long, Johnny. Great to talk to you.
It has indeed. Now, for all the world, you must have enjoyed that performance and result on Tuesday night against Oxford, or what was for you Tuesday mid-afternoon.
It was a great game. It was exciting. It was an exciting match. It was the type of football I think the fans have been waiting to see. Lots of action, lots of great goals. Truly a great game.
Now listen, this unforeseen pandemic has led to some huge operational costs with no revenue from matches at all for a season. Tell us how you navigated around this and dealt with it, given it was a totally unexpected phenomenon.
Well, you're starting out with a tough question. You started out with a good thing and now you're going right to the bad thing. The pandemic, first of all, hopefully is ending. We know the restrictions have been lifted, so everybody's able to move around the UK, and America seems to be lifting as well, so that's exciting. Touch wood on anything else coming up. As far as a football club, it's been incredibly difficult. That's not a pity party for us. It's been much harder for other people. But operationally, it's been very difficult. Financially, it's been difficult. When your revenue is based on people showing up to an event and they're forced to stay inside their apartment, which is way more important, obviously you can put one and one together.
Everything naturally takes time and patience, and they are commodities somewhat lacking in football. What would you hope to see from the renovation and works being carried out around Fratton Park? Tell us about the scope to later improve this and your vision to enhance the stadium and the matchday experience.
If you hear that, that's New York City in the background. I have been trying to come to England a lot. Let me get this out there. I was coming and then Omicron happened. That's New York City again. So we're coming out at the end of the season and we can't wait. Again, we apologize for not being over, and I miss it as much as anybody. So let's get back to the questions though.
Yeah, so I say commodities of time and patience are somewhat lacking in football. So what would you hope to see from the renovation and works being carried out around Fratton Park? And tell us about the scope to later improve this and your vision to enhance the stadium and matchday experience for those who come to Fratton Park.
Well, I think patience in football is sometimes it's an oxymoron. Let's get real. That could be a whole question unto itself. As far as it relates to the stands and the grounds, I think people are going to start to see it. You can see concourses where you used to get rained on, where you don't. There's kiosks now that have better food, there's better beer. Beer lines should be easier. There's TVs in the concourses. There's all kinds of little improvements that over time people will recognize. To get into the stadium now, as far as works, the north upper roof has been done, which is big. You used to get rained on in there. We've opened it up to the old architecture where there's light that actually comes in. The north lower will be done by next year. The south stand will commence right after the season ends. There are a few hundred that get affected before the season ends. We're doing our best to let people enjoy the experience while at the same time upgrading the facilities. But on paper, the south end should be ready for next year as well. So there's a lot going on at Fratton right now, and I think people are starting to see it.
It was said from day one that you weren't going to throw money blindly at players in an attempt to quickly move the team up the leagues. Is that something written in stone, or do you evaluate your aims as you go along over time?
Well, I think the question is more, it's throw money blindly at the process, right? So players are one part of that process. There's many layers to this thing. Obviously, the players on the pitch are vital to this whole thing. Look, it's going to take time, but if you don't have the good foundation, you're not going to get the players that want to come. You need to, the goal here is to get to the championship and stay up. So for that, we need to be ready. So it needs stability. So to go back to patience, I do want to talk about something. With the Cowleys, we've been talking top down about playing style all the way through the club. So now when you're recruiting and it leaks into all the different departments, we have a known style and now we're recruiting for that style. So long story short, it's all coming together. Is it going to take a little time? Yes, it's taking a little time. Do we expect results? Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about your patience. Do you have any loose expectations about when you want to see things on the field moving upwards and onwards?
Well, we'd love to get up this year. We think it's going to be, it's a tough climb, and it's a tough climb next year in the championship. I think it really takes 3 transfer windows to build the spine of your club. That's what Danny's been talking about. He's had 2. The summer's coming up. Danny's great. We believe in Danny. And as far as playing style and recruiting for the playing style, all the way down to the academy, there's this is why you're loyal to people. This is the patience part. It's annoying sometimes in the short term, but a lot of times when you look, all of a sudden you look around and you have all these great young players, and you have a core to a team that can not only get up but can stay up. And I think that's really the mission. We talk about going up a lot, but the key is, to me, is not being a yo-yo club and going up and down. It's about going up, staying up, and having the young players with the kind of what I call hired assassin, kind of lone players that can help you get up there. So,
does it surprise you, the clamour in England for people to hear from the owners? Because apparently in the USA, it's not exactly the same culture, is it? Just try and explain that.
Well, certainly there's a different culture. Obviously, we've said this before, the owners are handed the trophy and all the fans boo, and then the players get the trophy and everybody cheers. So we're not trying to be those guys, Maybe that's backfired on us a little bit in the UK because they do want to hear from the owners, especially because the owners have been so absent in the history of Portsmouth. But I think it was working fine when we were coming over before the pandemic, Unfortunately, this pandemic happens. I do have 3 kids myself. Didn't make it easy for me to school, X, Y, Z. So as far as not being able to get over, these are kind of unforeseen circumstances for everybody. I hope people would appreciate that. That said, we are planning to come over again. Hopefully not derailed once again.
You were actually grounded once by Omicron, weren't you?
I was scheduled to come, and then the Omicron became nuts. So it was, it's the perfect storm. None of us have ever been through this. Hopefully we aren't going backwards. Thankfully everything's lifted, and I think hopefully everybody's safe.
Obviously, Mark Catlin and then now Andrew Cullen, they sing from the same hymn sheet as you. But do you feel it's good that you can do interviews like this, both from your and the fans' perspective?
Look, ideally, for me, the fan reach out is very important, so absolutely.
Brilliant. The Academy has always been one of your key projects. Again, is the progress moving in the right direction? Is it where you would expect it to be at this juncture?
The Academy is a big one. We invest a lot into the Academy, so this is a hard one. This is patience. This is trying to figure it out. Have we had as much success as we think we should have? No, but again, this is in the lining up under one manager, under one football philosophy, all the way up to the physio, these kids have to go to school. Let's get real, but that is important to us as well. We're in the Cat 3, we're one of the highest paying, and there is, so as far as competing with the likes of the other clubs in our vicinity, I think that's a little of a pipe dream for right now. I think, we have our hands full with many, many projects. And sorry, we haven't even talked about Roco, really. I don't know if that's for the club to own its own training ground, debt-free, for the first time ever on the island is a huge deal. So let's not overlook that. I mean, that's a big deal for the club. That is big infrastructure. Yeah.
Even minus the pandemic, is owning Pompey more challenging than you thought it would be? If so, in what areas?
The pandemic made it more challenging. That's it, period. Otherwise, it's a complete, fun, huge expert puzzle that we all knew what we were getting into. And we were rolling along. We were doing great. Some mistakes here and there, but overall, we were running a successful football club, sustainable model, all the stuff we had talked about. And then we had a pandemic. So I guess everybody knows what happened then.
But no areas of the football club itself that you found more challenging?
It's not easy to be a steward to these clubs as far as the different layers that they have. So it's challenging, but we're ready for the challenge.
We've alluded to this before, but ideally, where would you expect to see the team in 2 or 3 seasons from now?
Well, this is what I just talked about. I expect them to be in the championship and staying in the championship. And we're not going to rise up the championship. It's these leagues are hard to get out of, as we all know. There's always somebody else dumping some crazy money into some team, and you don't see the results. So we promise we're not going to do that. You see results of people like Danny that build young, hungry, a spine of a team that go up together. That's what I've seen over my time. So that's what we're trying to build.
Yeah, I suppose you could sort of say that we had a great team that everybody loved in 2007, 2008, that won the FA Cup, went into Europe, but it also had no infrastructure, and it also got massively in debt. So that was the other way of building it.
So as long as we minus out the debt and we improve the infrastructure, now we will focus on the pitch. Not like we haven't. I think we made a very smart hire in the coaches and the philosophy that we have. It is the brand of football that the players, the fans want to see. I feel like Danny knows what he's talking about. He's made a big commitment to us. To be fair, we made a big commitment to him. Anytime there's somebody target that he really, really wants, our ears are very open. So that said, there's a lot of competition out there, but if you go ask Danny, he has had our full backing. I think there is a little bit of a misconception that he hasn't, and he's refuted that. So he has had our full backing, and it takes a while. And what first thing I've seen firsthand is when you switch coaches or switch managers, you have a whole rehaul. They always say that's not going to happen, but no matter what happens, there's a whole rehaul. So the third window is coming up this summer, and I think we're playing really well. So we can play with anybody in the league. I know that. So, we proved it last night. In perfect Portsmouth style, we came out and fought hard and got the win. So, feels good. It's been some tough losses. I get it. I get that when people are frustrated, I'm just as frustrated. So it's great to be on the other side of one.
Again, from day one, you've always stressed your family's commitment as long-term. Does that ambition still hold, and does the ambition and belief of what this club can achieve still burn as brightly in you now as that first day?
1,000%. It's never wavered. So the fact that we still get these questions amuses me, but I'm happy to answer any question. Everything it burns is bright. Until we got to get over there. I can't wait to get back over there.
Well, I'm sure that's going to be soon, and hopefully it will be.
We have games targeted for the last 2 home games of the year, you know, barring some crazy touchwood unforeseen travel restriction or something.
As I always say to Mark Catlin, as I always say to Andrew, and I'm going to say to you again, we must do this again soon.
We will, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad we got to do it this time.
Eric, much appreciated.
Okay, thanks. Everybody play up Pompey. It's all good. Thank you. Appreciate it.